When we think about theater, we can also divide it into what is the work of theater, what is the play of theater, and theater as art. So, theater as work, theater as play, theater as art. So, first we think about theater as work. Um, there are a number of practitioners, and we will go through this list of practitioners as we work in this class. So, we have the production, the people who work on production. Those are the people who, the producer, the people who find money, the people who secure advertising, and the people who secure the performance venue, the people who hire those other practitioners. That's the production crew. You're also thinking about the director, the person who drives the overall vision for the show. We often think about the actors, the people who learn the lines and find the emotional arc to their role. But we don't want to forget the designers. And the designers can include the sound design, the set design, the costume design. As we get into more modern theater, we're looking at projection design. So designers play a huge role in making theater happen. We're looking at the work of the building. And that can be everybody to the ushers, to the people who maintain the building, the cleanup crew. All of those people play a role in making theater an experience that audiences can come and enjoy. We also have theater crew, and so theater crew, those are the folks who move the set pieces on and off the stage when the lights go out and magical things come on or something lowers from the ceiling. The theater crew are the professionals who make that happen. We have stage management. Stage management helps everything run like clockwork. A stage manager helps connect the director to the actors, to the schedule, to the producer, and helps make everything run really smoothly. We have the playwright who actually composes the piece of work that's being performed, but then we also often are hiring musicians and composers who compose the music. So the production work is huge. When we think about the work, we can divide it into three major portions. We can look at rehearsals. For a traditional regional theater play, you are looking at holding rehearsals for 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and rehearsing a play for approximately 5 weeks, and then going into performances. That's a lot of time to prepare that show, and that's really just looking at the work of the actors. The director is there with the actors, but the director also starts working before this, working with the designers and working on the research. Sometimes the director is working with the writers. And all of the preparation that goes into this, which could mean building the set, building the costumes, buying the costumes, interpreting, all of those things. And then finally, we have the production personnel, and those are the people who market the show and make sure that audiences come to pay to see the performance. We can think about theater as play. Theater is the art of making play into work. And so a lot of times when theater is characterized, you see people playing really silly games. And there is a huge link. One of the things that we love to see when we're watching theater is we love to see our performers take risks. We love to see performers go to places that we ourselves maybe don't usually go or are afraid to go, and say things that we maybe wouldn't say or are afraid to say. And the way that performers learn to find that is they play. And that play helps the performers find spontaneity, and it also helps the performers find sincerity. So the next time you play a game, and whether it's a soccer game or a game of riddles, think about the spontaneity and sincerity and how that plays a role. And then think about how that can work with making theater or watching performers. Now, finally, we want to think about theater as art, because we study theater as a humanities, right? So we expect art to capture something of the human spirit. When we think about art, we're thinking about something that sharpens thought and focuses feeling by mixing reality with imagination. This happens in theater. When we watch a play on the stage, one of the first things it does is starts to make us feel something, starts to make us feel emotions. If you've ever been watching a TV show and started to associate that actor not as an individual person, but as the character they're playing, that is mixing reality with imagination. The actor has and the writer have created this character, and we start to, which is a product of imagination, and then we start to mix that reality. Art is important because it's accessible without subscribing to a particular set of beliefs. So this is something we can start to look at religious artifacts. Religious music can be beautiful, whether you subscribe to that faith or not. Often it evokes some level of emotion. And that is something that makes art. A piece of theater can evoke incredible emotion and thought, whether you subscribe to the point that the theater piece is making or not. And finally, we can think of theater as impersonation. We can think of people becoming characters every day. So we've got theater as work, theater as art, the theater building, and theater as impersonation. There's a ton of definitions.